been one of the most interesting times in my SEO career. But to a lot of people in SEO right now, it feels like the new Google algorithm updates have completely wiped out AI content. They have destroyed honest people's livelihoods, and they have brought fear and anxiety. But actually, for the most part at least, it's not the new Google algorithm updates people are really scared of at all. It's Google's new spam policy. And I think a lot of people have skipped over the fact that Google announced the way that they're approaching combating spam has fundamentally changed, which in corporate terms at least, means all limits are off and it's time to do whatever it takes to convey the image that they are succeeding in this never-ending game of cat and mouse. But anyone that's been in SEO for long enough will tell you that there are a lot of similarities in Google's old playbooks here. And we're only on day 4 of this release. So I want to start this video by saying that it first needs to be broken down into 3 separate parts because 3 different things have happened here. First, influencers have been hit with manual penalties based on internal research Google has done. Remember when Danny Sullivan literally told us that they were reading our tweets now? Then secondly, your average Joe SEO has been hit by manual penalties that have been validated from classifier research and probably very hastily validated too. And finally, the algorithm has affected a very small number of sites so far, almost exclusively in English. I'm talking 99% of English so far, and mostly very, very low quality mass page AI sites that you could reverse engineer off publishing frequency, domain data, and quality score classifiers alone. So let's start with the first topic, the influencers getting hit. And the one that really has had the biggest impact because of something called reinforcement learning. And it's actually the technique that made AI so good in the first place. But unfortunately, Google is using a very, very, very similar technique here in marketing via proxies. AKA the top voices within specific subsectors of SEO they're trying to show the algorithm attacking, but are very likely having limited success against, or inadvertently pushing up other, probably worse signals in the process. And all of this means that, as is with any part of society, a chosen few control the vast majority of messaging. And that means it amplifies that messaging through them. And it's worked very, very well for Google over the years, again and again. When PBNs got too big, they targeted Build My Rank. When guest posts got too big, they targeted And Smarties, my blog guest, which even the white hats were abusing that one. And when cheap link insertions got too big, they targeted SAPE. And when I was being too loud, ranking public case studies with my own name and my own authorship attached to it, remember Google authorship, guys? They personally targeted all of my sites 10 years ago now with pure spam penalties. Ring a bell? And for those who will immediately write me off as a conspiracy theorist, this happened to me not once, but twice. And in one of my examples, they hit a domain name that was a month old. The site was live for just 11 days. And it was a project I decided to make showing a build-in public case study of growing made-for-AdSense sites, which were all the rage at the time. This website had no links. It had only high quality content I had handwritten myself from personal experience over the 11 days because, as you can see, it was a diary. And Google dinged it with all of my other sites in the same Google Search Console anyway. The only links that site ever had was social profiles. And you can go run it through Ahrefs now. There's no historical links. It looks completely clean because it was. And Google personally targeted me in that removal, and it was a guilty by association action, which is the similar thing that is happening here. And Google also knows that large search engine news websites will just quote their documentation verbatim. We all know that these large search engine news websites love taking Google engineers' quotes, massively taking them out of context, and riling up the SEO community for clicks and profit. But It makes the industry consensus even more biased towards Google's documentation. And when you look at fresh information about the latest topics, it further perpetuates that bias when longer form content is being made and references those news articles. If anyone has read Ryan Holiday's Trust Me, I'm Lying, you will know that this is media manipulation 101 for the digital age. You create a narrative, you have others spread it for you, so it no longer seems like you are the original source, and that it has always been the case. Even if it's explicitly false in reality, the internet now believes it, and AI bots that learn from these will only perpetuate the issue even further with incorrect information. A lot of AI hallucination isn't even hallucination at all. It's just retrieving and repurposing data that is factually incorrect, but the internet has published it. They also know that with these results comes mixed messaging, because everybody in SEO is already opinionated enough. And it's hard enough to come to a consensus as a community on basic things, let alone topics we can never really be sure about, we can never really verify, and everyone in the industry has zero real access to what is going on behind the scenes. Even most of the spokespeople at Google probably have less insight into the algorithm than you and I do, because we are actually trying to rank things and they are seeing overviews and glossy, inflated engineering presentations meant to glorify corporate work, idealisms, and wokeness. And what these influencers should be doing to recover is definitely not what your average Joe SEO who's just been hit with the same penalty should be doing to recover as well. Which makes it even more confusing when you're trying to listen to those big voices who have been hit for advice, because their approach is going to be and should be fundamentally different. And speaking of those average Joe unfortunate folks hit by pure spam updates, unfortunately, we just haven't got enough correlated data yet to see where Google may have originated your site from in the first place. And it's probably going to take at least a couple of months to get enough of an insight first before you know what the reason is behind your site. But if you know that your site is dog shit, that's probably the reason. And ironically, before Danny Sullivan was the search liaison to Google, 10 years ago now, he did a Reddit AMA where he got a question about penalties and about the example data that was inside them. And he said himself that the data and examples you get from Google are not good enough. And they aren't clear, and they should give you considerably more information if they're truly trying to be helpful. He's now worked there for at least 5 years now, and if anything, penalty transparency has actually gotten worse, especially with this current wave. And finally, before we get into my algorithm analysis advice, if you liked my first ever SEO rant video like this one, let me know by commenting down below, SEO is dead. And I'll see how the reaction pans out to this style of video to see if I do more in the future. And my algorithm update advice has always stayed the same, and it always will be the same. Don't initially react, wait and see where your site settles, because there has been thousands of reports over the years of sites getting hit at the start of algorithm updates and seeing all the traffic come back, or at least partial recoveries by the end of it. And we've seen all sorts of weird fluctuations recently due to how these very complicated signal and classifier oriented algorithms actually function. Collect and analyze as much data as you can. Try to form networks with other site owners or SEOs, especially in the same or related niches if possible, because your data is going to be worth a lot more if you're in the same niche than if you're in other niches. That's just how Google's algo works. And there are plenty of opportunities to go around, and you'd rather be thriving together than dying alone. Focus on what is working, maximize your investments there, and be ready to cut them if shit hits the fan, as it always inevitably will do in SEO. And if you are really, really struggling on what to do next, Google and Reddit's relationship is only seemingly going to get stronger, and there are multiple monetization paths that you can take, abusing the authority that Godfather Google has so kindly gifted Reddit pre-IPO AI data deal to rank just about anything with Reddit posts and subreddits. I'll see you in the next rant. Peace out.